we shall discuss model of curriculum development. Curriculum development refers to the procedural steps adopted for the improvement in the courses offered by an educational institution. It can be defined as the process of selecting, organizing, executing, and evaluating the subject matter and learning experiences on the basis of the needs, abilities, and interests of the learners and the needs of the contemporary society. It helps in the selection of subject matter and other activities so that learners are able to acquire goals and objectives of teaching. Curriculum development is a systematic process adopted for bringing improvement in the courses offered by any educational institution. It is a process of selecting, structuring, implementing, and assessing the content and instructional strategies based on the learner's needs, abilities, and interests, and needs of the society as well. It helps in selecting the content and learning activities so that predetermined goals and objectives of teaching are achieved. Curriculum model refers to the guiding principles which curriculum planners follow to develop curriculum. Model helps curriculum planners to select learning experiences and subject matter in the curriculum. Curriculum model provides guidelines to the curriculum developers so that they can follow these guidelines while designing a curriculum. It helps them to select appropriate learning strategies or teaching strategies and contents for the curriculum. There are a number of models for curriculum development, but we shall focus on grassroots rational model developed by Hilda Tabba. Grassroots rational model is an approach to curriculum development proposed by Hilda Tabba in her Curriculum Development Theory and Practice in 1962. This model is based on inductive approach to curriculum development, starting with specific teaching learning units and building up to a general design. Grassroots rational model is based on inductive approach of curriculum development that focuses on specific teaching learning objectives and proceeds to design a general curriculum. Tabba believed that curriculum should be designed by its users. She advocated that teachers who translate the curriculum should be involved in developing it. Tabba gives utmost responsibility to the user of the curriculum, that is the teacher, because it is the teacher who translate the curriculum in the classroom and they are in close contact with learners and their problems and needs. While designing a curriculum, the teacher can take into consideration the needs and interests of the learners, and hence a thoughtful dynamic curriculum can be designed. She listed 7 steps of curriculum development in which teachers have to provide major inputs. The sequences of 7 steps proposed by Hilda Tabba for curriculum development are as: diagnosis of needs. According to Tabba, the process of curriculum construction should start with the identification of the needs of the learner. The curriculum designer identifies the needs of the students for whom the curriculum is being planned. Tabba believes that before constructing a curriculum, the first step is to identify the needs of the learners. And for this, the teacher should identify the needs of the learners for whom the curriculum is being planned. Next step is formulation of objectives. Once the diagnosis of the needs are identified, the Second step is to frame the objectives. The teacher specifies the objectives to be achieved. Teacher formulates objectives by taking into consideration the needs of the learner. While framing the objectives, the teacher takes into consideration the needs and interests of the learners. Selection of content. The objectives determine the content of the curriculum. The objectives and content should match. The content validity and significance are also determined. Once the objectives are framed, the next step is to selecting the content for the curriculum. Objectives decide what kind of content should be incorporated in the curriculum. The objectives and content should match each other. The content validity and its significance should also be considered. Organization of content. These steps involve the sequential arrangement of the subject matter by taking into account the learner's maturity, their cognitive abilities, and interest. It means that organization of content involves sequencing the content by taking due consideration, by giving due consideration of learners' intellectual ability, their interest, and their maturity level. Next step is selection of learning experiences. It refers to the selection of appropriate instructional strategies. Teachers select the appropriate instructional method that engage the student with the content. Learning experiences means instructional strategies, teaching methodologies. So once the contents are selected, the next step is to select appropriate instructional strategies so that these instructional strategies are able to keep the students engaged or busy with the content, or so that they can understand the content or subject matter but with utmost understanding. Next step is organization of learning activities. This step involves the sequential arrangement of the learning activities usually determined by the content. Teachers also sequentially arrange the different ways of teaching methods. Organization of learning activities refers to sequencing the learning activities that will be adopted by the learners so that the content can be transmitted to them by variety of activities like reading the text, understanding it, preparing an assignment, giving presentation, and so on. Teachers should arrange those learning activities in a proper order so that maximum learning output can be achieved. The last step is evaluation and means of evaluation. Focus of this step is to determine what to evaluate and the means of doing it. Here, curriculum designers determine which objectives have been accomplished. Teachers select the most appropriate methods of evaluating the learning outcomes of the learners. This is a step of assessing the design curriculum and to select the appropriate means of how to evaluate the designed curriculum. Here, curriculum designers must decide what are the objectives that have been accomplished and what are the objectives that are yet to achieve. That's why curriculum must undergo an evaluation process. Teachers must select the appropriate methods or means of evaluating what learning outcomes are achieved by the learners. So these are the 7 sequential steps proposed by Hilda Daba in her grassroots rational model of curriculum development. Now, here are some merits or strengths of Daba model. First one is it gives teachers significant role by not just treating them as implementer of curriculum but also as developer of curriculum. It means Hilda Daba believes that curriculum development responsibility should be given to the curriculum implementers. Next is maintain that teachers are aware of the student needs and therefore they are given responsibility of developing curriculum. Responsibility of curriculum designing has been given to teachers in grassroots rational model because they are the person who always come in close contact with students, and that's why they better understand the needs and problems and the interests of the students. Emphasis on objectives in order to establish a sense of purpose for deciding what to include, exclude, and emphasize in curriculum. Due emphasis have been given in grassroots model of curriculum development, wherein it is given due consideration what kind of contents are to be included or incorporated in the curriculum, what are to be excluded, and what kind of learning activities should be given emphasis for understanding the content or for perceiving the content. And last, it gives power to the learners by identifying them as the experts in knowing what they need to know. Grassroots model of curriculum development also gives power to the students for whom the curriculum is being designed by giving importance to diagnosis of the needs of the learners. Besides some merits, grassroots rational model of curriculum development also suffers from certain criticism. It applies the concept of participatory democracy as highly technical and specialized process. It assumes that teachers have the expertise and time to engage in curricular activities. So these are certain references and web links. Thank you.